Okay, just an upfront warning here. This video is about building a lithium-ion battery pack. Obviously, this video is provided for information and entertainment. If you do decide to do what's in this video, then you very much do that at your own risk. I can't be held responsible for your lack of competence or any corners that you might cut. So, with that in mind, let's get stuck in. Hi YouTube, AC Dodd here again, and another battery video. This time, welcome to the low demand, high capacity Milwaukee M18. Okay, so what am I talking about here? A couple of batteries on the bench. This is a lovely example of Milwaukee's high output range. This is a 5.5 amp hour high output battery uses 21,700 cells, used for grinders and high drain items such as grinders, mowers, trimmers, all that sort of stuff, and is a great battery. But what's this all about, and why am I talking about this, and what's this video all about? Well, sometimes you don't need Carlos Fandango battery with the high output cells and all the rest of it to actually run your loads. So if you've got loads that such as lighting and some of the fans from the M18 range in Milwaukee, they're actually low demand applications that just need high capacity. So to that end, if you want to buy the high capacity and the high current output cell batteries, they can be quite expensive. So something like that's about 100 to 120 pounds, something like that at today's prices. And this is this particular one is based on the old high demand 9 amp hour 18650 battery that Milwaukee produced. This isn't obviously a Milwaukee one. This is an AliExpress kit which I've built myself. But the point is, I haven't used the high demand or high current output cells. I've actually used different cells which were a lot cheaper to achieve the same thing for running my low demand tools. So what's the benefit of doing that? Well, these are quite expensive. So when you could buy these, because they no longer make the 9 amp hour version, I don't believe anymore. Don't quote me on that, but I don't think it's available. They were something like 130 to 150 pounds. So quite expensive. This particular battery cost me 38 pounds to build, and that includes the cells and working as it is now. So there is a massive cost saving to be had by building your own cells, building your own batteries, if you've got all the bits and pieces. So, for example, this uses cells that I got from eBay. These are genuine LG MH1 cells that you use in electric scooters. I just bought a bunch of them off of a dealer off of eBay, and managed to get them for the princely sum of £1 a cell, and the cells I had with the MH1s rated at 3200 milliamp hours. In actual fact, when tested, they all came in at sort of around the 3000 milliamp hour mark. 3000 to 3120 I think is what I managed to get. So yeah, excellent cells. But there's a couple of things you have to understand about using these. So these are only rated at 10 amps, and when you look into them and the data sheets and people talking about actually using these, really, once you go past 7, they start kind of working hard. So the ideal application for these is loads that don't need a massive current output. And the benefit from using something like this is this has got higher cycles on it. So a typical Samsung sort of 25R, which you would normally get in a Milwaukee battery 18650 battery pack, typically sort of 250 to 350 sort of cycles before it starts to wear. These things will be up to 500, so you can get a lot more recharges out of this, and you get high capacity. So you've got over 3000 milliamp hours. Now, I only paid £1 a cell, so I bought quite a few of these because they were cheap. But that means I can then build my own thing, which lasts all day, which is what I wanted, and didn't cost the earth. And obviously, because it uses a good quality cell, does everything I need it to, and it's relatively safe and can be used reliably. One of the other considerations to think about when you're changing and using different cells is the charge rate. Now, I've deliberately chosen this 9 amp hour version because it uses 15 cells, so it uses it in a 5S 3P configuration. So what that basically means is I've got three rows of 5 in parallel, and that means when you plug it on a Milwaukee charger, if you're using a standard Milwaukee charger, it's about a 3 amp charge rate, which means divided by 3 is 1 amp per row of cells. And what that basically means is you're well within the capability and charge rate of these cells, so you won't overload them. When I built this, I also have not only the standard charger, but I have the rapid charger as well. The problem with that is that's 6 amp, so you start pushing 2 amps per cell. I wouldn't recommend pushing 2 amps per cell if you want to get the maximum life out of these. So, if you're going to do this application and you want the cells to last, then really only build the larger battery like this when you use these cells, so that you reduce the charging current as much as possible. Clearly that works in the other direction as well, because any load that you put on this, you're dividing it by 3. So for example, if you say that each cell can only run support 5 amps maximum output, then clearly the maximum output of this pack will be up to 15 amps. So clearly much less than a genuine Milwaukee. So we're not interested in the high output, as I said before. These are for low current applications, and those cells work beautifully in that application, so long as you charge them at the right rate. So in this case, this battery build here will only use the standard Milwaukee charger, not any of the others, so limited to 3 amps only. So what did we start off with? Well, I got myself a kit from AliExpress, and in that kit comes all the parts you need to be able to build your own battery. So you've got all the shells you need, obviously the casing, and then inside here you get all the parts that you need, including stickers and various bits and pieces. Put those over there because we won't be using most of those. And then we get the important nickel strip, which actually connects all the batteries together, and we get some stickers, transfers, screws, etc. So let's just tip those out so you can see what we're getting. Now, it's also important to understand that when you buy these, there are many options on AliExpress, okay? So I would urge you, having bought some myself, to look at what you're buying and only buy the kits which have all the parts and all the connections on, okay? So like the cheaper kits won't come with these sensing connections for the BMS, so that's something to be aware of. The more expensive ones also come with a nice thick nickel strip, which is good for making a good quality battery pack. You can see the packaging is not wonderful, but in terms of building a battery pack, that's every bit serviceable. As I say, you want to look for the ones that come with these, and that tends to be the more expensive ones. So as far as I'm aware, I paid, I think this particular version was approximately £19. So not expensive, but very much useful to make a decent battery. One of the first things I like to do is just to get all the nickel strips applied in the kit, and then press it into position, just so that everything's there and you can see it all fits properly. It's very annoying when you buy these and they're not all complete. They don't cost a lot of money, and sometimes the quality can leave a little bit to be desired, so to speak. But this one's lovely, so let's crack on and start to get this together. Okay, so first thing you need to do is find out where all the screws go. I'll try and make it simple for you. These two long and two shorter versions of the same screw go in the outer casing to hold the whole casing together. These little ones here are basically used inside. One's to hold the small one to hold one of the circuit board screws on with, and then the other four go in the lid, and are used to hold the spring mechanism into the lid. Those four there in the middle are used to hold the battery case into the outer case, and these bunch on the outside here are basically used to hold the inner battery case together once you put the cells in. The two springs you can see there, one there and one there, they are the springs that go behind the red detents, which operate the clips which holds the battery in place. So without further ado, let's get on and get assembling. Okay, so with the top half of the shell, we've got to put the detents in, which are there and there, and the hold down, and obviously the two springs that go in. So let's get them installed. Can be a bit fiddly, but basically you just need to insert them into the casing like so, and then the difficult bit is simply having them in the casing like so, and then with the two springs, as you can see, there and there, you need to put the top in while keeping those springs depressed. In order to facilitate that cover going on and maintaining the springs so they don't fall out, I find it's easier to install one and then depress the other using a screwdriver, and then just push the cover down. So the way to get these in is, as I can see there, screw on the end of the screwdriver, and then my finger just to hold it in place. And then what we do, and then we just fill that in, push that in, so we can see that, and then that just simply screws in. Just make sure when you've got those screws in that they're screwed all the way down, like so. And it is tempting to, swing off the screwdriver, but be careful because it still screws into plastic. So when you use a small screwdriver like this, it's quite difficult to actually over tighten the screws. So they will go down and you will feel a definite stop. Just don't go any further. So turning our attention to the top face there, we can see that we have a transfer. Apologies about the light coming in there. I've got a big window with it and the sun's decided to come out. So we'll get the transfer off and we'll put that on. Nice and simple. Take it off, line her up and plop it straight on. Like so. Okay, that's it for part one. So stay tuned and look out for part two. It should drop fairly soon. Hopefully you enjoyed that. As ever, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you very much.